hip-hop is dead, but today look like Easter. First of all, my projects is 90%.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. I'm your host, the man known as the Great Black Shark, and I welcome everybody over here into the building today. As you can see from the thumbnail, we got to deal with Culture Vulture Repellent. And I'm pretty sure all of you recognize this Easter ball, egghead, sloppy Joe looking bastard on the screen. Yeah, y'all know I had to circle back around to him. And I know you're probably asking, why are you doing this, GBS? What's the point of beating this dead horse back to dead again? Well, it has to be done because there's an issue that we have to take care of here regarding making sure that these culture vultures understand that their place is to respect our culture or get out of our culture. And before we get into that, let me shout out a couple of people that I see in the chat here today. I see the sister Goya Morgan, my brother 60s.net in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, please do make sure you check out this brother's site. It is a black-owned social network for all of us. I need to be over there myself. I'm going to have to get on over there. I see Sister Patricia Jenkins in the house. I see Vulcan 205. Okay, what's going on? Our sister from Zimbabwe, DJ Wokahannis in the house. What's going on, sister? How are you doing? I see Mimi over here. What's going on? So salute to everybody that made it over here for the broadcast today. We are not going to be very long today. We're going to try to keep this brief and concise and to the point. But see, the lesson that we're going to focus on drilling down over here today is this. Let me say this first of all to the brothers in the chat, foundational Black American men, and to be honest with you, for our own code, non-foundational Black American brothers and sisters, okay? Primarily, brothers, it is our responsibility to guard and protect the culture and our people. It is our responsibility to call out things when they are wrong in the culture, and it is our responsibility to take the lead in correcting things that are wrong in our culture, okay? So when we see culture vultures, like Sloppy Joe here, it's up to us to be vehemently vocal about setting a line of demarcation that they do not cross. Now, why am I saying that? Here's the reason. As black men in America today, when you look around in this country and you see our position, we don't have the luxury of affording people any more ground to disrespect us. We just don't. And when you look at the men of other cultures, Asians, East Indians, Arabs, Hispanics, and definitely in the dominant society, you do not see them tolerating disrespect, okay? When you do something to disrespect their culture, they immediately deal with you, okay? We're seeing an example of that now, and I won't raise that issue in this broadcast because I'm going to get back on Mr. Cunye, but I'm going to do it on Patreon because, see, I don't really feel that I've drilled that down enough. So if you have not signed up and subscribed to the Patreon, you might want to consider doing that. There is going to be a special broadcast Friday, and we're going to get some things straightened out about that. But regarding what we're dealing with today with these culture vultures, right? Understand something. Every one of you in here who is a homeowner, okay, you got your own situation where you control things, you pay the cost to be the boss. You've heard me say this many times that we should consider our culture our home, because that's exactly what other groups do. So in your home, when people come into your home, I'm pretty sure every one of you in here have rules for your home, right? Every one of you in here have rules for your home. If you're going to allow guests to come over, if you're going to allow family to come over, you have specific rules in your house that you say, listen, if you're going to come over here, these are the rules. You got to follow the rules. If you don't like them, there's the door. Let it hit you where the good Lord split you. That's what we got to start doing with our culture. And before I get on into this, it's something we're going to clear up today to this whole, well, we don't have the ability to do nothing about it. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We're going to correct that foolishness right now. Yes, we do. Because, see, understand something. When we get ready to put a stop to anything amongst ourselves, we do it. We just have to want to. See, a part of getting control of your culture is number one, you have to respect your culture. That's first. We have to respect it. Okay. Number two, once you respect it, you make sure other people know that if you're going to be invited in as a guest, which I say it shouldn't be no more invites to the picnic. That need to go. We need to clean house and start from scratch. We're going to deal with that later. But if you do invite people into your culture, you say, okay, here are the rules and here are the parameters in which you will stay if you are going to be a guest within the culture. Okay? That's exactly what we have to start letting these people know up front. Because, see, what happens is, think about it this way. Let's just say you host the party, right? And you invite people over to your home and you tell them what the rules are in the beginning. Okay, it's cool. One of the rules you lay out is, hey, don't invite nobody else over here unless you check with me first so I can approve whether they're going to come on over here or not. Okay. Some of the guests just ignore that rule, and then next thing you know, they invite a whole bunch of people over there that you don't know. Okay. They going in places on your property they ain't got no business. They breaking stuff. Got all kind of foolishness going on. So now you get back around to the area where it was just the initial people that you invited, and you look up and say, who the hell is all these people? I thought I told you not to bring anybody else over here unless you check with me. You see what I'm saying? So where I'm going with that is this. Somewhere along the way in our culture, primarily dealing with hip hop, we're going to start there. We had a situation where we were allowing too many people in without vetting them and screening them and making sure that they understand that, look, you a guest and you going to keep a guest place. Okay. That's how you get a Fat Joe. And I'm going to call it like it is. I got to say what need to be said. The reason why you have this problem, I'm not going to completely blame it on the brothers and sisters up there in New York, but there's a segment of them up there that let these people like him get away with all kinds of things without checking them. I know it ain't all of you brothers up there, but it's enough to be a problem. We're going to have to talk about it to a lesser extent. Sometimes out there on the West Coast, we got to tell the truth and shame the devil too. Because see, one of the things I will stand on here is down here in the South, we don't play that. Oh, we do not play that. We don't play letting them run around and say the N-word down here. They know damn well if you say it, you better not let us hear you say that. And see, a lot of our brothers in other regions of the nation have gotten too lax with that over the years. Okay? It's going to have to be some straightening about that because, see, it's deeper, to quote the cliche saying, it's deeper than rap. Oh, yeah, I'm going there. Because, see, when you look at a Fat Joe and people like him and you let them get too familiar with you, they feel free disrespecting you all kinds of ways. But, see, you can't go amongst their people and do that. Think about going amidst the Hispanic crowd and calling them any type of racial slur that the dominant society calls them, or that they may playfully refer to each other as a black person. Okay, they're not going to allow that. And see, this is something else we got to point out to and make distinctions about. For those in that New York area up there in the Bronx, yeah, I'm calling you out. For those of you up there in that area, we got to make a clear line of demarcation between the types of black men that are allowing the Fat Joes to run around and get so familiar. It's mostly non-FBA guys up there allowing these guys to do that. Not all, but a lot of them are. So what happens is, if there is a Caribbean brother up there, okay, or a Haitian brother, okay, continental African brother, and they let them say that around them because they're not attached to the history of that N-word and other disrespectful things the way we are, it's just seen as, okay, black man let me say it. But now when you come around a foundation of black American man and you let that come out your mouth, we check you because like, hey, whoa, that word ain't for your lips around us. I don't care how much you like some hip hop artists. I don't care how much influence you think you have over the culture because you've been allowed in as a guest. That word is not for your lips. So now that I got that out the way, brothers and sisters, we're going to get into a couple of things. And along the way, I'm going to be doing what I usually do. We're going to pause it and analyze it. And we're going to see how these problems became about. And for everybody with what's the solution? Oh, I got some solutions for you over here today. So just hold tight. With that said, let's get into this presentation.
I'll give you 80% black. Still. My grandmother's projects is 99.9% black. Be clear. It's a lot of woke society or something going on these days in Twitter and all that. That I guess they don't understand where I come from, where I was born. I've been saying this thing in my DNA. It's hard, bro. No one's.
Let's go ahead and get started with what he just said. He said it's a lot of woke society today and we just don't understand where you come from and where you was born. Well, Fat Joe, I'm going to tell you and every other Hispanic, white Hispanic, okay, Asian, East Indian, Arab, Continental Africa, whatever the hell you are, let me go ahead and put you on notice about something over here. Because, see, a foundational black American man needs to go ahead and draw the line in the sand on this. And hopefully other brothers that feel the same way will go ahead and start carrying this. Let me tell you something, Fat Sloppy Joe. We don't give a damn where you came from or how you grew up. You are not one of our people. You are not black. You are Cuban and Puerto Rican. Just like you don't want us disrespecting you, you will not be allowed to disrespect us. You will not be allowed to do it. The men are going to stand up and take the lead and let you know that enough is enough. And see, I have to properly place all the blame where it belongs. Because see, when you see these problems, when y'all see this, a lot of y'all probably ask the question, how did it get this bad? How did it get this far where they get so disrespectful, comfortable disrespecting us? Well, you have other men that let them come around and do that. A lot of these rappers that call themselves pioneers and legends, they don't check these little bastards like this, and then when they don't do it, they think, okay, they can come around all of us and do that. Well, see, I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? As much as you love an artist, as much as you revere and respect an artist, understand that we, the people, the grassroots in black society, are the ones responsible for their careers because we gave them the popularity that they have by supporting them. Now, I know a lot of you will say, well, GBS, once they sign to those labels, today most of their audience over here are white people or what have you. Let me tell you something. I keep saying it. Y'all really don't understand your power in this country as black people, especially foundational black Americans. When we pull the plug on somebody and completely turn our backs on them, that's it. They can't ride that wave no more. See, we may not have control of the economy to punish them directly economically, but boy, when we punish them with the social capital, by stripping that social capital away from them, watch how fast they get in line. Cause everywhere they go, we turn our backs on them and let them know that they're not welcome. Speaking of those people that co-sign the Fat Joes that are of our lineage, we're gonna have to let them know that, hey, look, we say this shit is off code, and if you keep doing this, we're gonna have to deal with you accordingly. Because see, as much of a problem as the Fat Joes is, you have to ask the question, who let him get started doing it? Who never checked him to the point that he think that he's entitled to say the word? And see, that's the other thing. We got to deal with that. A lot of these different groups, boy, they don't want nothing to do with black issues and black struggle or standing up for us, getting justice, reparations, punishing these race soldiers. But boy, they love being entitled to say that word, don't they? See, we're gonna have to let them know that they don't call hands in our culture. We're gonna have to shut that down. And that starts primarily, first and foremost, with the men standing up. Because see, when we stand up as men and we set the tone, our sisters follow right behind us. That's been the case throughout history anywhere in the world with our people. When the men set the tone, the women follow behind suit. Okay? Because see, you gotta look at something, right? We're gonna deal with this in 360, man, in totality before I get on with the rest of this. A lot of you brothers today are complaining about, okay, the women don't respect us. They don't respect us like they should. Oh man, they did. We just can't get no respect from the women, man. Every time we turn around, they treat us this way, that way. Let me tell you why. You better understand that just because women don't walk right up to you and tell you what the problem is, they're always watching us as men. And they're comparing us to what other men do in their societies. That's just the truth of it. So when they see us, if you stupid enough to be around somebody of another race and they just saying the N word and you don't check them, what you think that make you look like to our women? They'll be like, oh, okay, you let them disrespect you. Well, hell, you damn sure not gonna get my respect. Now, they might not walk up to you and say it, but it's evident in their behavior. And not just in that. It's in a lot of things that we should be doing as black men. Yes, we know we live in a system of white supremacy, but damn it, it's some things that we have control over, and it's time to start making that known. And this is one of them when it comes to cleaning up our culture, because that's very important. So now that I got that out the way, I want y'all to listen to the rest of the foolishness that's going to come out his mouth. Let's continue.
Joe, into feeling or saying anything that he loves or he believes in, no one's ever going to do that. You get one life and ain't nobody going to try to tell me what to say, tell me what to do, tell me what to think. I mean, do I look like a racist?
Okay, let's deal with that. Take note of how he's boldly proclaiming nobody gonna tell him what to do, what to think, what to say. You right. In America, you have freedom of speech. You can do whatever you want. But see, here's the other part that comes along with that freedom of speech, Sloppy Joe. That's a decision and a choice you make. But when you make that decision and that choice, there's consequences for what you say and do. We're gonna enact some consequences. By any means necessary. That's what I'm saying. See, let me tell y'all something. When they had him hosting the BET Awards and they came down here, you know they pre-recorded that show, right? That they didn't do that live and let everybody come down here. Because, see, I'm going to tell y'all something that y'all might not understand. Down here in my city, Atlanta, we don't fuck with Fat Joe like that. And he know that, too. See, ask yourself this. I bet you can't find no after party footage of him hanging around, chilling and kicking it down here, going to different spots and people showing him love. I bet you can't find that nowhere. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. See, if we show you love down here where I'm from, you can walk around anywhere down here without security. You really can. He can't do that. He know he can't. I guarantee you, once they finish taping that, he got his ass on the first thing smoking and flew the hell up out of here. Because see, let's touch on that BET Awards thing. That was the most disrespectful thing ever. Y'all seen how they was leading up to promoting him and then trying to hype him up like he's some influential, integral part of our culture. I'm gonna say it right here, and see, this is gonna hurt a lot of people feeling that like to cape for this clown. But I don't care, because usually most of them are either non-FBA people or half FBA. Dude, you a mediocre rhymer at best. You not even a rapper. You a mediocre rhymer. Don't nobody be like, oh my God, boy, I can't wait to hear this new Fat Joe coming out. You have maybe 2 songs at best that most people like, okay, yeah, that was decent right there. You know what I'm saying? Lean Back. What's the other one? You know what? I struggle to even think. I'm trying to think. What's the other songs? Because I don't listen to the clown like that. Yeah, All the Way Up. The one where him and I think French Montana, a couple other people's on there. Okay, you know, about 2 little hot hits. And then I'll tell you who really had talent that I do respect as a rapper, that I never saw him disrespect black people when he was living. Big Pun was talented. See, I'll give credit where credit is due. Big Pun was a very talented rapper. Unless I can find somewhere he disrespected our people, Big Pun was that dude. Okay? I'ma say it like this. If we gonna talk about, you know, Hispanic rappers that set the bar, I'm starting with Big Pun. You gotta start there. That was a very talented lyricist. If you go back and listen to his work, you could put him alongside Biggie or anybody on the track and they wouldn't outshine him. He would hold his own. So I would respect you if you come into my culture with respect. But when you pull this crap like him, nah, man, you don't get no respect. And then he's been integral with Busta Rhymes. That's another one that I'm gonna have to get on. You're coming over here talking about y'all created hip hop or it was 50-50. No, it wasn't no 50-50. Hip hop, and I'm gonna say it again, and we're not gonna stop saying it. Hip hop was a completely foundational Black American creation. It is our child, and when you disrespect our child, we gonna put foundational Black American foot to ass. That's just what that's gonna be. So see, while we analyzing this, I want y'all to pay close attention to how defiant he is and determined that he gonna hold on to disrespecting our people. Because see, this whole thing about, are you saying I'm a racist? First of all, let's put that in its proper context before we continue. You do not have the power to be racist unless you are a part of the immediate dominant society. Not even the buffer class groups really have that power, because they're not really white. They're just classified as white. Okay, let's get that clear. Now, you can be a bigot, because yeah, you can be prejudiced and be a bigot, but you're not in control of no system to discriminate against anybody with the color of their skin. So at best, you can be a bigot, but see, we're going to check you today. We're going to check you over here today. So let's let him continue here. We're going to finish analyzing this.
Somebody's really upset with me saying the N-word. What are you saying? I'm a racist?
A lot of talk when her sister, V Nasty, came out using the N-word. You know, defended it. And so
there's white niggers everywhere.
Let's stop that right there. Now, in this interview here with another culture vulture, Vlad, who should have never been allowed into our culture, and that makes no sense. All the talented legends and pioneers that could have been doing what Vlad is doing now, leeching off our culture. We make these people multi-millionaires by letting them disrespect us. That's a whole nother conversation for another day there. But see, let's deal with what he just said. He was mentioning this white wannabe wigger rapper, this chick called V Nasty, and you heard him make the statement, there's N-words, there's white N-words everywhere. No, there's not. Because see, really all that word means is a victim of white supremacy. By default, you can't be white and be an N-word because you are not a victim of white supremacy. You are a part of the oppressor class. So let's get that straightened out first and foremost. Then, here's the other problem that I have with this, and brothers, I want y'all to pay attention to what I'm about to say here. I don't care whether it's Sloppy Joe or anybody of any other group outside of our lineage. You do not let someone else come into our culture and call hands and try to define and dictate terms about what's acceptable for us and what's allowed to be said by us. You are not black. Okay? See, this whole thing in this country here, where they want to cut the black man's nuts off and tell us that we just supposed to bow down like a bunch of little puppies and just accept everything. I ain't cut from that cloth. I ain't built like that. You can't do that in my culture. You can't do that. And if you a man and you get up and look yourself in the mirror every day, you shouldn't tolerate it either. See, it's a bit different down here in the South where we raised, because we got strict lines of demarcation about this kind of disrespect right here. You can't come down here as no other group and call yourself trying to run that over here and tell us what you are going to do and what you're not going to do as far as pertaining to our people. You damn sure not going to do it around us. That's not going to happen. See, the problem up there in those certain areas of New York, they walk around like they just own the culture and don't nobody check them on nothing. And see, the whole thing that you keep hearing, people keep talking about, well, you know, we grew up together up here, the Puerto Ricans and the black and brown. Man, listen, go back and look at the history of that. You had a few people here and there that were cool. There's people that are cool in every race. So let's be clear about that. But as a collective, did they really rock with black people like that? No, they didn't. Some of them were anti-black as hell. The history of this is proven. You can go back and look up gangs that they were a part of, where they were talking about killing N-words and all of this. Some of them was the biggest snitches on black people up there. So this whole fairy tale fantasy about, oh man, the Puerto Ricans and the blacks always got along, that's a bunch of bull. And history is there to prove that. History is there to prove that. But see, back to this point here where he making this statement, talking about his white N-words everywhere. But who gave you the authority as a guest in my house, in our house, to let that come out your mouth as if you got the right or the authority to say that? Who gave you that privilege, boy? See, that's how we're going to have to start looking at that, brothers. Let's let him continue, because y'all ain't heard nothing yet.
And unfortunately, the word started as a racist thing many years ago. And we don't view it as that no more, unless it's being really just the context of it. So like,
you know what I get sick of, brothers and sisters? I'm gonna tell y'all what I get sick of. You got a lot of people, boy. They love to start speaking that alternate language of French and start talking about we. Who is we, Sloppy Joe? We viewed it. It started as a racist term, but we don't see it that way no more. You don't speak for black people, boy. See, brothers, I want y'all to really make sure that you understand that you let these people know you don't speak for us. You are not us. You are not our representatives. When they go and get these dummies like Cardi B, who is Dominican, to try to speak for black people, we like, hey, you not us. Because see, you can't pull that in nobody else's country. You can't pull that in nobody else's country. Look, you can't even go to Haiti, Jamaica, or other African nations and call yourself trying to speak for them and you not of their lineage. No disrespect to you, but they're going to check you quick, and rightly so. They're like, hey, whoa, if you speaking on the wrong thing, and one thing you better not do, and you go into some of these other days, start getting into their politics, hey, leave their politics alone. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a sister in the chat from Zimbabwe. She'll tell you quick, man, politics, keep your nose out of that if you're not from over there. Don't do that. And see, for some reason, when these people come over here, they expect us to put up with things that they know they wouldn't put up with where they're from. See, that's just how comfortable they've gotten, because see, for the most part over here, black people accept everybody. And that's been part of a biggest part of our problem. We accept too many people like they're our own. But we're not accepted by everybody else that way. We just got to call it what it is and tell the truth. We got too big of a problem accepting any and everybody and letting them come around us. And then when it's time to reciprocate, we don't see that. Look at the politics here. Okay, when you look at the Hispanic Congressional Caucus, okay, you don't hear them champion any black issues. You don't see them coming out with making no statement saying we stand in solidarity with Black America on XYZ issue. They don't ever say that. I dare anybody to pull up some policy and show me that. You see what I'm saying? So again, when somebody like this starts trying to represent and speak for us, we got to stand up and let them know that, hey man, nope, we're not gonna put up with that. That's how you take respect back. Ain't nobody gonna give you your respect back once you lost it. You're gonna have to take it back. And we're gonna have to make that a tradition in our culture to the point where all the young ones see that, hey, you don't tolerate this under any circumstance. And it's not too late to fix this, because see, like I said, all we have to do as men is say no. And that requires having integrity and the courage to not worry about who you gonna offend, not worrying about, oh man, if I do this, man, I ain't gonna be able to date them or whoever. Same thing with the sisters. We can't be worried about offending people. Cause see, I'm gonna ask you this question. Who's worried about offending us? Name one of these other buffer class groups outside of our lineage that worry about offending us. Go ahead and point to them. Who? Just think about it. Just say it. Just say it with me. Let's go through the groups. Do we hear the Asian people saying, don't say that? Don't say that. What the black people gonna think? Do we hear the Hispanics saying, hey, don't say that? What the black people gonna think? Let me ask you this. Do we hear the East Indians saying, hey, don't say that? What the black people gonna think? Do we hear the Arabs saying, hey, don't say that? What the black people gonna think? We damn sure don't hear white America saying, hey, don't say that. What are those black people gonna think? So I want you to hold that thought as we continue here. Let's carry forward.
How can we tell everybody hip hop is for everybody? How can we really tell everybody, yo, if you white, hip hop's for you. If you Chinese, hip hop's for you. If you fucking Arab, hip hop's for you. And we say nigga all day. And they think that's...
See, and that's another thing I have a problem with. I'm gonna offend some people today, because let me tell you something. Over here on this microphone, I don't care about offending you, because everything that I say on this microphone, I'll say it off the microphone. Everybody that knows me knows that I'm telling you the truth when I say that. The mistake we made was saying that hip hop was for everybody, because see, show me the equivalent of that in other cultures. They'll let you partake in their culture, but who do you hear vocally saying in other cultures saying, hey, our culture is for everybody? That was one of the biggest mistakes we ever made, was let people start saying that. We should be like, like, no, you can come over here and be a guest, but is it for everybody? No, it's not. It's not. It's not. We see what I'm saying right here. A lot of black people are ashamed to say, hey, this is mine. This really isn't for you. You better believe an Asian person has no issue telling you that. Go and try to and dabble in some of their culture and start doing that, and just look at how they look at you. Just put on some of their attire and see how they look at you. They're going to be like, hey, whoa, hold on. This ain't funny. Like, you don't even belong over here with this. Ain't no shame in telling people that they don't belong somewhere, because they don't have no problem telling us that. And see what he just said again with this French that he's speaking. Well, we say this all day long. First of all, you're not black, man. See, when you get enough people that'll sit up there and let these people start getting comfortable representing us, when we can't do that for them, this is how you get a sloppy Joe. I'm gonna tell you, y'all better hold on to your hats, boy, because what I put together over here today, if you think that what you heard so far is bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because see, I'm going to make some black men angry today, because see, this is a problem that we are going to have to take charge of putting in order. When your house is out of order, you step up and put your house back in order. Let's continue.
Cool. So if they like, yo, what's up, my nigga? Oh shit, you a racist. You know they ain't really mean it racist. You know that sister ain't telling her, yo, what's up, my nigga, racist. She say, what's up, my nigga? So Fat Joe's the white.
See, and what he just said right there before we get to this next part, let me tell you something right now. And everybody down here that's a black man in Georgia knows what I'm saying. I'm telling the truth with what I'm about to say. That right there, the attitude that he have, he come around here walking around in any part of Georgia saying that around us, we'll slap all 32 teeth out of his mouth. We don't play that. It's consequences down here when you come down here trying us like that. Ain't no context you can say it in. We don't play with you like that. Because see, one thing that I will say for my brothers down here, we understand that our manhood is all we got. This country is constantly trying to take things from black men before we exit our mother's womb. And I'll be damned if we're going to let you take our self-respect. Down here, for some reason, I got to say it. I'm not saying other people in other parts of the country don't represent. But I'm telling you, down here, it's very strict. You can't find nobody down here that's from here, not a foundational black American. Now, you may find some of these immigrants that come down here that wear our uniform that'll let that slide. We don't play that down here. Some of y'all better start following our lead on that, man. See, a lot of y'all just like it's no big deal. No, it's always a big deal. It's a big deal because other cultures don't let you disrespect them that way. They just don't. I want y'all to examine what he about to say next here.
Puerto Rican with green eyes. I'm black, bro. Fat Joe is black.
Yes.
So when I say this shit's spike, I got green eyes and I'm white. They look at me like I'm fucking crazy. I'm black, bro. Fat Joe is black.
That was his bar. But my question to you, how?
Now, y'all keep hearing him say he black, he black, he black. I seen a picture of this man's parents. If I'm not mistaken, his mother is the Cuban one and his father is the Puerto Rican. There's nothing black about this man at all. And see, before anybody try to be a smart ass, would you come back and catch this recorded or you're listening live and you come in here? We know about the history of the countries. We know what was former slave colonies. Here's the problem. Go to Puerto Rico. Go to Cuba. Are there black people down there? Yes. Do the greater majority of them identify as black? Hell no. No. The darker skinned ones, they know they have to because they have no choice. But when they come over here, what do they identify as? Oh, we know what they identify as. They come over here and classify themselves as white. You think I'm lying? Go down to Florida. Go down to Florida. You see how many of them tell you they black down there. You man, very few and far in between. So see, when they try that little con game, trying to talk about history, the only thing you have to do is y'all don't claim that now. Y'all, you go down there, them people don't stand up and say I'm black and I'm proud down in these places. I know, I've been there. I know. So forget all that gaslighting. But see, this conversation right here, I want you to take a look at these ignorant Negroes that's sitting up here in this conversation. Because see, this right here, this could never happen in no barbershop down here in Georgia. Never. And I meant that. You will never hear what you're about to hear on this. Because this pissed me off when I saw this. Bunch of dummies sitting up here with this mother... Boy, you know what? I'm going to let y'all hear it. You'll see why that pissed me off so bad.
How did that feel being that this was the man that you put on and now you're learning from? Because that's very rare. And you took it in.
Bro, nigga, I know how to be number two.
But
That's the problem.
You mean that's
Niggas
the
don't know. That's the problem.
That's
the problem.
That's the problem.
Niggas don't know how to play their position. If you a mechanic, you a mechanic.
Now you see how boldly he just said that. And they just sitting there like, oh, okay, cool. Cause see, this is up here in New York. Yeah, I got to call it where it is. This is up here in New York. Again, there are some Cuban and Puerto Ricans that do claim black, but not the majority. They don't. Not back at home, and damn sure not when they get over here. So I want to make that crystal clear. But see, I want you to look at these fools sitting up here while this man say this. Because this ain't the only time he going to say it. He going to get disrespectful with it. Just wait.
You a barber, you a barber. Everybody want to be the chief. Nobody want to be the Indian. Nobody want to play lawyer. When I was coming up, my brother was the boss. I wasn't the boss. I was the second in command. So when my brother got out the car, I held the door for him. And when he walked out, I walked next to him like this. I know how to be number two.
But when did that shit
You're not listening to me. It happened my whole life. So what I'm trying to tell you is
crazy.
We in the streets. I know how to be number two.
From jump?
Nigga, I am rich. Okay?
Now y'all see him prancing around, basically being allowed to cosplay as a black person by the rest of these off-code bastards in this damn room. See, I can't stand niggas like this. I said it. I can't stand niggas like this that'll sit here and let some chump like him disrespect our people like that. That word ain't got no business coming out of his mouth at all. No exceptions. And prancing around talking about you from the streets, this and that. That dude's soft as cake, man. Everybody, look, people that really know this guy, he ain't none of what he's saying. He ain't none of what he's saying at all. Period. And they sitting up here kikiing and cacaing with this fool, man, while he walking around just throwing that word all over the place. See, I'm showing you this for a reason so you can see where the problem starts at. I want you to see where the problem starts at. It starts when you see people like this continue to do this over and over and over and over again. And then they get outside that little bubble where it's acceptable, and then they bring it down here to other areas where it's not. Let's let them continue.
I am rich. So that's so, Joe. I can't stop making money. I just make it. I'm being honest with you. When I'm around my little brother Khaled, I am not richer than him. So I open the door. Oh!
Now, before we get to the next disrespectful bastard, I got to deal with that final portion of that clip you just saw. A bunch of these goofballs sitting there clapping like trained seals. See, when you respect your heritage and your lineage and your legacy, none of that what you just saw is funny at all. If that pertains to you as a foundational black American man. And I have to wonder how many of them were foundational black Americans, because like I said, we have to keep that in mind too. The people that allow them to do that usually are not from our lineage. They're just not. And see, let's deal with the ones that are from our lineage. Let's deal with why they'll let them do that, right? Because see, as men, we're the primary gatekeepers of our culture. And I got to go ahead and call it like it is. A lot of the times, the dudes that allow these chumps to do this from other races, they trying to lay up with their women so they don't want to offend nobody. Yeah, I said it. That's exactly what it is. Some of them got baby mamas, this, that, and the third. But see, I'm going to tell you like this. Far as I'm concerned, when you start letting them disrespect our culture like that, you just as big a problem as them. We're going to have to treat you the same way. See, why am I so adamant about this? You need to understand something, that when society declares war on you culturally, you better start guarding your house and acting like you know that war has been declared upon you. You can't have nobody behind your ranks collaborating with people that are out to doom your culture and destroy your people. You can't do that. How you gonna be trying to win in one instance and you got people behind the ranks on your side working against you to undermine you? I want y'all to let that sink in, right? Because see, when we talk like I'm talking, when you have the men of the culture saying we're not going to tolerate no more, let me tell you what you start to see. And this is where it takes a backbone to stand up and say what need to be said. What you start to see is a bunch of non-foundational black American men and women hopping over trying to tell us what we should accept. Let me say it again. You don't call hands in my culture. You don't. If I see something that's wrong in my culture as a foundational black American man, it's my responsibility and my duty to stand up and say, nah, this ain't cool right here. I got to get the brothers together and we got to call a meeting on this. This is over. You don't get to keep doing this. And see, here's what's going to be the acid test for brothers checking this BS. You got too many people in our community, the men and the women, but we talking about the men right now because we going to be the ones that have to really take the lead in cleaning this up. You got too many people that want to give these punks a pass because they like their music. I don't give two shits about your music once you start disrespecting our people. If I'm willing to hold Kanye to the fire the way I do, you think I'm going to let somebody else outside of my culture disrespect it? Hell no. Hell no. Let's let this here continue because I want y'all to hear this chunk right here. I want y'all to thread the needle on what I just said earlier in this broadcast so you can see how it jumps from group to group. Each one of them thinking that they have some entitlement to use that word and disrespect us.
I personally don't give a fuck about, but you see it everywhere. DJ Khaled saying the N-word.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a nigga. You see what I'm saying? Like if somebody ever took that in what's that word? Arrogant? I mean,
Arrogance?
Yeah, like if somebody flipped.
I'm a nigga. Oh yeah? You a nigga? Oh yeah? Okay. He say he a nigga, right? Why come ain't none of them that claim to be the N-word? Why come they not N-words in solidarity with us when we trying to get things accomplished for our people? Why come it's only when it come to entertainment you want to be a nigga? It's fun to cosplay as us. See, that should be offensive to any one of us. Look, see, let me point it out to you this way, brothers and sisters in the chat. So I want my point to stick here, the point that I'm finna make. If you would be offended when a white person put on blackface and come dancing in front of you and playing and jiving and all that and trying to talk in Ebonics, you see that immediately as disrespectful, right? See it as immediately disrespectful, yeah? Okay. I got a question for you. What's the difference when an Asian, an Arab, a Hispanic, a East Indian does it? What's the difference, huh? You mean to tell me you like the music so much that you willing to overlook they being disrespectful and just give them a pass on it, huh? Think about it. What's the difference between a white person in blackface and one of these other groups buck dancing and coming around and cosplaying as one of our people? You see what I'm saying? I'm a nigga too. Since when? You classified as white in this country, clown. I guarantee you look at this boy paperwork, that's exactly what you'll see, that W on there. See, I don't play that black and brown foolishness because the question has to be asked, who the hell are the brown people? They do that when it's politically convenient, but you look at their ID and on their paperwork, all of them are classified as white. Every last one of them. You be rare to find one of them with his skin complexion of another race that's allowed to be classified as white over here, and they actually classify themselves as what they really are. They don't do that. We the only ones dumb enough to think that everybody's going along with some type of non-existent multiracial coalition. Dr. John Henry Clark done told our hard-headed asses many times, we have no friends. That man wasn't just saying that because it was a catchphrase that sounded cool. He looked at history. He studied it well. And then he took a look and an assessment at what was going on around him during his era. And he reached the conclusion that we have no friends. So I'm going to ask you, why is it that we don't heed the words of our grandmaster teacher when we've seen it over and over again? Over and over again. There's no excuse for that. Let's let him continue.
Shit in another way, they dumb. You know what I'm saying?
I'm taking it right.
Like, and they take it to like I'm trying to be, nah, it's like, I grew up like that. It's a slang. It's actually a positive word, the way I use it.
See, they all got the same story. I want y'all to really trace the patterns and thread the needle on this. Each one of them, like this, that are not black, keep saying, I grew up like this. I grew up like this. I grew up like this. Over and over, I grew up like this. What that tell you about the black people around them? They was off code as hell. They was off code as hell. See, you to pull that down here growing up, you would have caught ass whippers every day. Every day. We would have trained you to remind you what you are not. We don't disrespect them. They're not going to be allowed to disrespect us. That's just how we got down here. See, they would get their mind right as adults if they came down here and stayed long term. Oh boy, they would learn real quick. You don't do that down here. You don't do that down here at all. See, for all the little goofy jokes that some people have about coming down the South, especially places like Georgia and other states down in the South, one thing we do got on lock, we don't let these people play with us like this, like some of these people do in these other states. We don't do that. Even the white people know how far not to go down here. They do. Come down here and spend some time. You'll see what I'm talking about. But see, this whole thing he keep talking about, he grew up like that. I grew up like that. I don't mean it as a racist thing. Look, if the people of the culture who you claim to respect are telling you, hey, we not okay with you saying that, then you would abide by that and say, hey, you know what? I respect the culture. I don't want no problems, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, I just won't use that word. I'll use something else. But see, you notice they never do that? Now, what that tell you? If the people of the culture are telling you, hey, that's disrespectful, and you just ignore that, don't say you respect us. Just say what it is. You doing it to be willfully disrespectful. That's what you're doing. Let's let them continue.
The way Ace is using it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? Like, it's just, if you think like that, that goes back to the internet. You know, the hate. You know what I'm saying? And for me to say, I don't say it, we the best. Ooh, we, nigga, we the best. You know what I'm talking about? Like, stop. Niggas that thinking that is dumb fucks. You know what I'm saying?
Now you heard what he said. Look at the look on his face, too. See, that's another thing. They all have that same little smug look on their face. Niggas that saying that is dumb fucks. So basically, if I tell you disrespecting my culture, your response is to tell me that I'm a dumb fuck, huh? So let's go with that for a minute, right? Let's go with that for a minute. Turn DJ Khaled right here, looking on this screen. All of you looking at him, I want you to do a mental exercise for me. Turn him into a black man. Go ahead and do that for me. Turn him into a black man. Get a good look at him while the screen is paused. Turn him into a black man. Okay? Now, turn the audience that he's speaking to into Arabs or Hispanics, Asians, East Indians. Go ahead and turn the audience that he's speaking into any one of the groups that you name. Now, my question for you next is, do you think that they would be like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what? Since he said it that way, I kind of get it. I understand. Yeah, it's no problem. Hell no, they wouldn't allow that. They wouldn't allow that at all. They would pull the plug on that show, and they would be up in arms about that if you disrespect them like that. But see, here's the thing. We don't disrespect other groups that way. You can't show any number of black Americans that have as a collective sought to just disrespect other people for no reason. We don't do that. We don't. Everybody think it's okay to do it to us over here in our country at that. See this bastard right here, I'm going to tell you why I take it so personal. This bastard right here and others like him, our grandparents and great-grandparents fought for them to have the right to bring their funky asses over here and get on DACA programs, things that we can't even get access to. And you gonna come over here and disrespect my people in my house? I'll be damned, you got another thing coming. Just let them continue.
But like, once again, man, I like to shout out all the fans and all the people that love, you know what I'm saying, and love this music. It's like, yeah, it'll make me mad because when I grew up, niggas just called me sandwich. Now, that's ignorant because there's only one way to say. You can't say, yo, what up, my sand nigga? You know what I'm saying? That's not the way we grew up in the street. And when I say, yo, what up, my nigga, I say that to Green Lantern all the time. What up, my nigga? You're saying, what? That's just love. That's me greeting you with love.
If I tell you it's not, then it's not love. It ain't love. See, this is the issue that I really have. The reason why you get this cornball talking this way, him and Sloppy Joe, the people around them. I got the lad at the doorstep of the brothers again. The brothers around them were very weak men. Nobody had sense enough to check these motherfuckers every time they started saying that shit. Every time. See, when you keep on letting stuff, it's cute. You bring them around because like, hey, man, you know, he cool, man. No, you ain't cool. If you disrespect me and my people, you ain't cool at all. Period. And there is no exception or no pass on that. And see, the reason why we keep getting disrespected is because over and over again, we see too many people in our group from the warrior class, which is the men, tolerating disrespect like this. I can't stand this fat bastard. I don't support him or nobody else that talk like that and disrespect my people. See, it's easy for me. I don't care what kind of hit song you come out with. If something is viewed as tainted or poison to me, I have the discipline to put that shit down immediately. That's what it takes to be an actual man and have some backbone and discipline. You got to stand up on some integrity. I don't care what kind of music you make. I don't care who you collaborate with. Cause see, think about this. Let me put something on your mind, because I told y'all I got solutions over here. All it takes is people to have the courage to act on the solutions. Just think about what it would be if we gave people from the grassroots, the soil, the black people, that these black artists, because I'm putting it back on our people. Think about if we gave these black artists an ultimatum and said, listen here, the next time that you take your ass over to DJ Vlad and get on there when we done told you we don't support that platform disrespecting us, you're going to lose all black support that you have permanently. The next time we see you collaborating with a Fat Joe or a DJ Khaled, hell, even a Busta Rhymes that say something disrespectful about us, we're going to turn our back on you completely, so it better be worth it. And see, before anybody say, well, we can't do that. Oh, really? Oh, really? Okay. I'm really finna drill this point home now to all you Cape and Kanye clowns. All of y'all that say the small has it wrong for doing what they doing to him. How are they able to do it? How are they able to do it? They're able to do it because they're on code. When you are on code as a people, you can do anything that you set your mind to. What I just stated, there's a solution right there. Because see, I guarantee you, if you turn your backs on these clowns that go and support people that disrespect us, they'll come to their senses very quickly. You know why? Because see, this is what y'all don't understand. A lot of people make this misnomer of saying, well, we don't control the economies. Guess what? If we don't give them social credibility, their economy starts to shrink up because those white record label execs see they can't book them and make any money off them anymore. Cause see, let me explain something. Let me show you how it ties into these white audiences that they majority have. The white audiences that think they're cool, they only support them because we do. Think about it. They follow our trends. We don't follow the trends of no other group in this country. You understand? We don't follow no other trends. Think about it. Tell me if I said anything that was untrue. What other group do we, as black Americans, foundational black Americans, what other groups in this country do we take our trends from? Tell me. Tell me, what other group do we take our trends from? I take it a step further. What other group anywhere in the world do we take our trends from? Or do we create the trends ourselves? From our lingo to the way we dress, everything about us. We are an original people. We create the culture because we are the culture, okay? So now that being said, if you really want to do something about it, let's get serious with it. Let's get serious with it. Let's start turning our backs on all these people that support anybody that disrespect us in any kind of way. Period, okay? When we start doing that, I guarantee you'll see a quick change and shift in behavior. Let's let them continue here.
But if somebody takes it another way, it's dumb, man. That's like dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dumb. Like, they dumb.
What pisses me off the most is hypocrisy. People that are hypocrites. Oh, you rap, you're mayate, you're black, you're negro, you're this, you're that.
Now, for those of you that didn't know, the man that just spoke was DJ Kid Frost there, okay? He's telling you how his people looked at us. This is going to be DJ Charlie Chase telling the same thing. Pay attention.
And then the Hispanics were telling me, what the hell are you doing, man? Why are you playing that Jungle Bunny music, you know?
My partner, Disco is.
Now, before we let Grandmaster Cass speak here, okay, speaking truth to power, you just saw people from their own community telling you how they looked at us back then in the early formation stages of hip hop, okay? These people weren't all kumbaya with us, oh, the black and the brown get along together. That's not how that was. It ain't never been that way. It ain't never been that way. They try to throw that narrative out there to pad and gaslight to make you be docile and accept them disrespecting you to your face. See, we're going to have to wake up, family. We're going to have to wake up. We walking around here sleepwalking and we done got too comfortable. See, here's the thing about it, right? This is another thing I got time before we let our brother Grandmaster Cass speak here. One of the most important things about history is it reminds you of who you are, and it may remind you of what kind of integrity you're supposed to stand on within your lineage and as a person. Okay? And when you really have a good foundation of sense of that, you don't tolerate disrespect from nobody. Period. You don't. See, we've been so accustomed to accepting disrespect in this country that, it's just normalized. We got to get out of that normalizing. Okay, that's just what they do. This. No. It is not our place to be disrespected on our own land. Period. Let's let Grandmaster Caz talk.
My first DJ partner in hip hop, he used to beat up people in the street for telling them, why you hanging with them niggas? Why you hanging with Morenos?
Well, he was Puerto
He
Rican.
was Puerto Rican, half Cuban. And he would always catch flack from Puerto Ricans for being with me.
I am the descendant of Africa.
Now you heard that, right? That's one of the original pioneers and icons telling you how things were back then. So I had to include that part to dispel that goofy myth. Okay? Black and brown. Ain't never been no black and brown. Even when they start trying to make that false equivalency talking about some Brown Panthers, go and look up what the Brown Panthers really was. It was some of the biggest informants in the Black Panthers. Oh yeah, a lot of them was federal agents. I ain't saying nothing wrong. Go and look up the history. But see, I wanted to include this right here. We see little Bucktooth right here. Alexandria Ocasio-Horseface Cortez. I want y'all to listen to what she tries to do. Because see, here's where it comes into the political aspect. And this is very important when it comes to us getting our reparations. You're going to see a lot of these people. A lot of these so-called brown people that's classified as white. You're going to see a lot of white people trying to pull the racial dollars off. See, we better get this straightened out and cleared up right now. Listen to what this woman is saying. Pay attention.
Slaves. I am a descendant of indigenous peoples. I'm a descendant of Spanish colonizers. I am a descendant of all sorts of folks. That doesn't mean I'm black. You know, a lot of times.
Okay, you're right. It doesn't make you black. But see, what happened is they try to play this racial 3-card money and they be confused. See, look, just because they're racially and schizophrenically confused about who they are doesn't mean we are. We know who we are. That's their issue. That's their problem, not knowing exactly where they want to fall in line at. 1 minute you saying you descendant of this, descendant of that. Then the next thing we know, we look in your history and see it practiced in present day. You talking about Mayoral La Raza, talking about improve the race so that you can whiten up the race. Nah, don't bring that trash over here. We love being black. We love who we are. We're proud to be black over here. We are not confused about who we are as a people. So see, we clamp down on this now, brothers and sisters, because see, you better believe we gonna get no reparations. Oh, we gonna get them. We gonna get them. And see, once we do, you gonna see every one of these clowns trying to claim black all of a sudden. Nah, that's not going down that way. Nope. So I want y'all to hear what the rest of this is saying here. Pay attention here.
I'll hear people say, okay, this is about Black Lives Matter. What about Latinos? And I always say, Latinos are black. we are Afro-Latina.
Now, before we wrap this up, think about what you just heard, right? You heard her out 1 minute out of her mouth say, well, that doesn't make me black. And then she got caught again saying, oh, we are black. See this BS schizophrenia and that gaslighting that they do? Nah, man, we can't let them people play with us like that at all. Brothers and sisters, we are the ones that are going to have to shut that foolishness down. You don't need to be ashamed to stand on it. You don't need to be ashamed to check it across the board. The men, we have our part to do, and sisters, you have your part to do. As far as dealing with the women that try this foolishness. It's time out for this. We let this go on far too long. We really did. See, it should have never got to this point. Because see, unfortunately, one of the problems is we are so accepting as a people. We're so gracious and humble and loving as a people, but we never get that love in return. We don't ever get that respect in return. So when you have a people like us that have exceptional qualities and the fine gift of compassion and hospitality, and you hand that gift out for so long and nobody appreciates it or reciprocates it, then you rescind that gift. It's time for us to expend our hospitality and our courtesy and our grace on our own people. We've neglected doing that for far too long. Far too long. That's one of the biggest problems with us getting on code the way we should as a people. We expend so much of our good qualities to other groups that don't even appreciate it. all these DACA programs and all this stuff they get when they come over here that we don't have access to, and not even our children have access to. No, it's time out. They're gonna have to hold their own tacos, burritos, spring rolls, falafels, whatever it is. They're gonna have to hold them all to themselves. We don't have time for that no more. We got to focus on us. That's the message I want y'all to get from this broadcast today. Take it to heart and start putting it into practice, especially us brothers. We got work to do. We can't play with this no more. I don't care where in the country you from. If I pissed you off with anything I said today, good. Act on it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. That's what I want you to do. We can't sit back and let this be cute and tolerable no more. With that said, that's been the end of the broadcast. I have paused the screen here to let you all know that the broadcast coming up Friday, it will not be YouTube friendly. It will not be YouTube friendly. So if you are interested in catching that, you might want to go ahead and join my Patreon now, because we going to deal with this Kanye thing one final time. And I'm not going to mince my words. And look, I'm going to say it this way. It's not going to be YouTube friendly. I'm going to make the ultimate case for why nobody should be caping for this man at all. Period. With that said, I love and respect everybody in this chat room. Salute to anybody that has donated and contributed to the broadcast as usual. Unless you indicate that you want to remain anonymous, I will respect that wish. Otherwise, I will list your name on the community tab as appreciation, as I always do, and let you know that, hey, I respect and appreciate all of you over here that contribute. Because see, here's the thing. When we support each other and get things done on code together, nothing can stop us as a people. That's it. Black first. I'll see you all in future content. And make sure you join us. Make sure you join us at the Foundational Black American Rally, November the 5th, 2022. Hope to see you all there.